One. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another client story. I have here Scott Baumer from Portland, and within the last 4 months, Scott has obtained 12 solid referral partners, realtor partners, from our elite program. The point of these videos is to spread awareness of the program and to help more LOs like Scott establish more realtor partnerships more easily and faster, and especially now with the current climate that we're living in. So Scott, go ahead and tell us about you, a brief summary on yourself and your mortgage business.
Well, yeah. Hi, Will. So I came out of the medical device industry about 6-7 months ago and did a career pivot and became a mortgage loan officer. And with COVID, well, that's the reason, that was what spurred me to do it. With COVID, it was just really difficult to find referring partners. I was getting referrals through my database, but referring partners and realtors. And I had had a little experience in selling some headlights nationally on LinkedIn. And then when Will's team contacted me through LinkedIn to see if I'd be interested in learning how I could grow my realtor contacts through his program, I was definitely interested. And so I took advantage of it, tried it for 2 months and had some really good success. I think I made, I don't know, 3 or 4, 5 maybe good contacts, really good contacts with some realtors, picked up a couple deals. And then so I extended it another 2 months. And it has really turned out to be a fantastic program for me, especially during COVID here, to meet realtors. I met with realtors, had coffee, talked to them about different investment strategies. I now have a nice little cadre of realtors that send me deals, call me up, ask me questions, and have just become business partners. And I did it all in a 4-month period with this program. And it's and I've grown referrals from them too. So from realtors that I've met through this to other realtors. So it's been a really nice program for me. It's worked out well.
Yeah, and you've definitely done your part. You've made it work. You took the opportunities and ran with them. You mentioned your biggest challenge was being new in the industry and not being able to really get in front of realtors. Was that the biggest challenge? Like, what was the biggest challenge before you signed up with us? And like what did you worry about like before then?
Well, I wouldn't say
already moving into the industry.
Worried, but having been in outside sales for 25 years, I knew I had to be able to get an audience. I had to be able to have a conversation with somebody. And with the offices closed and all the realtors really not, most of them not having meetings and none of them sitting in their offices, the old style that people would do of walking into a realtor's brokerage account and trying to bump into realtors, that's just not existing. Not that I would do that anyways, especially now that I've been exposed to this program. And so that was going to be my biggest challenge, because I wanted to build a nice little strong set of referral business before I started my next phase, which is going after direct-to-consumer marketing. Because I needed to have the cash flow, so I could create a whole nother avenue of marketing. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
So you may have answered my next question, which was like, what has this program enabled you to do now that you couldn't do 4 months ago?
Yeah, it's enabled me to take the next step. I just recently signed up with a program to go direct to consumer marketing, and it's based off the business now that I've grown in the 7 months. I think I did 2.625 million in closed sales this month, and that's pretty good. It's enough to launch me into the next phase.
That's so good to hear. Focusing on the program, like what are the results? Because you mentioned some numbers in the beginning, which is awesome. Let's go back to that, because that's what people really want to hear. What are the numbers up to date, like results of the program? Like, can you give us some numbers, realtor partners? What's your pipeline looking like from the program specifically?
Well, I can just tell you that I've collected, I want to say close to mid 300s realtor new contacts on LinkedIn. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a big number. And but what I really, they're nice. I put them into my CRM and have been dripping on them with mailers and stuff. And but what really was the value, the numbers that really mattered were the people that I met with, either via the phone or in person, that have given me deals that now pretty much talk to me on a regular basis, whether they have questions about borrowers. And that number there, which is like, I would say a good dozen realtors. I even had one realtor that had me quote refinancing her own place.
And that happened recently, I believe, in the fourth
Yeah,
month.
it did. And they're still considering it. So,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing that you have to realize that I learned in this program is I'd have coffee with a realtor. We'd have a great conversation. I felt like we really had a good connection, and maybe I didn't hear from them for 6 weeks, really, other than me sending them, hey, what's going on? But I mean, for them to really come to me with anything. And then all of a sudden on 2 or 3 of them, literally was that amount of time, I get a call and they've got a deal for me. They've got a borrower that they want me to pre-qualify and that they picked up in their marketing programs or whatever. And so that's what was surprising to me, is a lot of the work that you do doesn't immediately pay off. It pays off down the road. Yeah.
Absolutely. The relationships that you cultivate today, and you knew this, is going to be the commission that you make 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's start like day one, the campaign, all the way up until today. Because we talked about the beginning, we talked about the end. Let's focus on the middle. How many realtor appointments, like how many realtors were you talking with like on a weekly basis?
I would say on a weekly basis, I would have an opportunity to talk to at least 2 or 3, either on the phone or sometimes for coffee. And
what was that process like? Like you not having to cold call them?
oh, it's great, because all I would do is keep my eye on my phone, and when I saw a little message come up that someone had broken the string and they had responded to some LinkedIn messages that you had been dripping on them, then it was just a matter of getting them on a phone call, which I could usually do in 1 or 2 messages to them to make them realize we needed to talk. This couldn't be done via messaging. So, but yeah, it was easy to have 2 or 3 conversations a week, I would say.
Yeah. Awesome. So from the relationships that you've cultivated, you said about half a dozen from the program. If not already, how soon do you expect to double what you invested in the program?
You mean as far as going from 12 to 24 realtors, or just recouping my investment?
Recouping your investment. How
Oh,
close?
I've already recouped my investment.
You've already recouped your investment.
Yeah, that was done on the first couple deals.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. So like, can you give us like a rough number, like 12 months down the road, what kind of X do you see?
Well, that's a tough one to predict, Will. The only reason is many of the realtors, as you know, that we contacted are 1 to 3 years into the business. And so
That was the scope. Yeah.
if they keep growing and they keep growing in their business, the market's really good right now. I just can't see any of them wanting to get out, because they're like me. They're new, fairly new in the business, and they're doing well. And so they're learning a lot, and it's been, I just couldn't imagine that this business isn't going to double at least, because their business is going to get busier.
Absolutely. And you have 12 of those, if not more.
Yeah, I haven't put my total finger on it for you, but it's at least a dozen.
That's a great number. We tell everyone 6, so if it's double, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So last question, I'll let you go. This is my favorite question. What do you enjoy most about working with us?
Well, for one thing, it's all done via the phone and the computer. It's super easy. And that's great. The second thing is you just are on it. Seriously, you are on it. You don't miss things. You keep me, you kept me on program. And even if because sometimes some of those messages would slip from one LinkedIn to the messenger and you just don't know where that message is at. And maybe I just didn't see it. You would see it, say, hey, Scott, there's someone there bumping on you. And so, no, that to me was probably the biggest refreshing part of this whole experience was just your guys's attention to detail and professionalism was really outstanding. Yeah. Thanks, Will. I really appreciate it.
Of course, I believe that personally, accountability is the biggest factor when it comes to taking something and making the most out of it. You know, we provided you the tools and the resources to get the results that you saw. But at the end of the day, it's always good to have someone, kind of like a coach, to push you in the right direction, making sure that every single stone go unturned. So accountability is huge, and you've experienced it for yourself when you joined the program. So that's about it. Thanks for your time today, Scott. Who's ever watching this, feel free to reach out to myself or Scott if you have any further questions. Scott, again, I really appreciate your time. I'm glad this recent campaign was an awesome success. So let's sign off. And if you're an LO or a mortgage broker and want more realtor partners, want more of those options and opportunities in your close next few months, give us a call, contact us on our website, and thanks for watching. We hope you found this valuable. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah. Thanks, Will. Have a good time.
Thanks.